Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Do me a favor, check me out at www.bitedownboxing.com, as well as some work that I do over at roundbyroundboxing.com. Huge boxing week. Um, all platforms have action, which put some of us in a bind. So I thought I'd just come out and get the schedule out there and maybe a couple other quick thoughts. One of those quick thoughts would be, I know some different things or some uncertainty surrounding the DAZN app. One interesting thing is that their weekday program, the Akim Barak show, is still going on. So I don't know. It just signals something to me. Maybe signals, a certain level of commitment to boxing. I know the schedule on the app, has been light, and the lawsuit is going on now with it's been dismissed while they revise it. Canelo side revises it, but very easy, and some people were laid off, and so it's like I said, it's volatile. But one interesting thing is that this show continues to be on daily on Sirius XM, as well as they also have it on the app, I believe. And that's something that they very easily could have moved on from. You may not like the Akim Barak show. I like that they have a variety of guests on from all platforms and from all promotional or with all promotional affiliations. Um, and I just think it's a good spot for boxing to be in. Again, I've mentioned that I think Top Rank is doing. They have like two special 24/7 type training camp, type programs coming up to support Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. I think that starts on the 4th, I want to say. So I think that's dope. We'll see how that turns out. Um, but like I said, I think that this is a positive sign for the zone to some degree, even if it's just continued, employment for Akim Barak. Maybe that's all it is. It is down from 3 hours to now only 1 hour. They don't have the calls in to the show right now, but I did hear on the Monday and Friday night show at the fights with Randy Gordon and Jerry Cooney. They actually had calls for the first time in last night's show from callers, and whatnot. So I thought that was interesting. Secondly, Fa Jogba. I got a chance to go back and check out the fight from Top Rank on ESPN Saturday night. He came in at 243, a little over 243, I believe. Not a good looking night for him. One thing that I didn't like, I don't know why K Karama was outside of the ring. He does some things differently, and is a different dude, especially a stark contrast to somebody in his area nearby, in a Barry Hunter. I don't know, Barry Hunter was out of the ring the other night for Kobe Breedy, but that's like he's a secondary trainer. Breedy has his main guy, but I thought he needed to, especially once the fight started looking bad. Thought he needed to be in the ring getting Fa Ajagba together against Johnny Rice. Not a good looking win. You know, his volume wasn't there, and I think that volume could be part of the thing that helps him compete at heavyweight. So he looked uncertain. We saw some of that. That's been part of Karama's training with his impact with Jared Hurd is less volume. I don't know if that works for everybody. You got to figure out a way to balance volume and still being responsible, defensively responsible. But he knows what he's doing. And a lot of guys with that first outing with the new trainer is kind of can be a bit of a misstep, but that's a tough division not to look good in. But he basically, I'll sum it up with, I think the volume needs to happen. Be smart with your range. You know, he's a one of the taller, longer heavyweights. Use your range. Uh, Work on, timing, reacting to what you're seeing. Being, like I said, and being mindful of your defense. Let's jump on to this schedule. Uh, so Friday there's a DAZN card with senior and junior Chavez. If you like that, they just picked that up. I think that's out there for Friday night. Julio Cesar Chavez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Maybe they picked this up because they have plans of doing something with Sergio Martinez and Chavez Jr. So maybe that's some long range, the long play there. Saturday, the big day, starting at noon on ESP. I mean on DAZN. Speaking of DAZN, you have the World Boxing Super Series Cruiserweight finale with Marius Brightus and I can't remember Dorticos' Uniel Dorticos. I'm not gonna give you a big breakdown on that one. I like Dorticos to stop Brightus. I think I've seen more of him. I thought Brightus didn't look all that great in the Chicago fight that was the opener for the cruiserweight tournament. And then we know it was all the fouling with Glowacki or what Glowacki or Glowacki in the semi, and I think I like Dorticos to take that one. So that's at noon on DAZN. At 2:30 Eastern Time, the ESPN Plus card with Josh Taylor, unified lightweight champion. By the way, that cruiserweight is for the Muhammad Ali trophy. I'm sure one of them has a belt. I think Brightus might have the belt. Remember, this is both of those guys. I think their second go around with the World Boxing Super Series. Anyway, ESPN Plus, Josh Taylor, unified. What is he? WBA and IBF lightweight champion, defending his title against Apnan Kangsong. I didn't look at the rest of that card. This is obviously meant to set up the undisputed title fight with Taylor and Jose Ramirez. So Taylor just needs to keep up his end of the bargain. Ramirez squeaked by Postal a couple of weeks ago, and then we could get this this undisputed fight on, and then possibly find out a future opponent for Terrence Crawford that people might not hate too much or criticize too much or scrutinize too much. They actually have a press conference today at 6:00 with Taylor and Bob Arum. 6:30, an e-conference, Zoom conference, and then Saturday night. It's good that these don't overlap a whole lot. I don't think they overlap at all. The first two might, Brightus and Dorticos, and the Taylor Kangsong fights. Those cards might overlap a little bit. The big hitter, especially in the U.S., is the doubleheader on Showtime pay-per-view with the Charlo twins. Jamal versus the WBC middleweight champion Jamal Charlo versus Sergey Derevianchenko in the first three fights. Then there's going to be an intermission, and then in the second three fights is Jermell Charlo, WBC super welterweight champion, against WBA and IBF unified super welterweight champion Jason Banana Rosario. Those are both from the Mohegan Sun at Uncasville, Connecticut. The pay-per-view price is $74.99. Also, the back end of that card with the Jermell portion, you have Luis Nery on there, who's an interesting guy I want to see. And then also former unified super bantamweight champion Danny Roman is on there against Juan Carlos Payano. I think that's going to be the back end of that card is excellent in my opinion. So that's $74.99 to check that out. I'm very interested to see how the pay-per-view goes. I'm not in the area that gives a damn about boxing, so that I can pick up very little in terms of the buzz, for this. I know right now, it's one interesting thing is what is the state of the economy? What is consumers' viewpoints or views towards dropping down $75 right now? Are people social distancing? Have people? I'm in my house. I do what the hell I want to do. Yeah, y'all come over. There's no options for people to take advantage of a cheaper option and going to a theater and checking this out for $20 or 25, whatever it would have been. That's not out there. Are you going to welcome a bunch of people into your house to help pay for this? What are you doing? So these numbers will be very interesting, especially as we move forward with the Tank and Santa Cruz, Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz fight in October on pay-per-view. And then in November, I believe November 21st, is the Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia unified welterweight title fight that's pay-per-view. So this, all eyes will be on this. And this is the Charlo twins' first time, headlining pay-per-view. So I'm very interested to see how the market responds. I'm looking at footing the bill myself, but like I said, with Roman being on there, Neri being on there, the two main events, the co-main events, having interesting opponents, and then there's also Figueroa on the first part, and the other guy escapes my mind at the moment, but. So that's it, man. I gave you my winner for the cruiserweight, the Muhammad Ali trophy. I think it's Dorticos. Really no reason to go in on the Taylor fight. Maybe Thursday or Friday I'll come back and talk about the Charlo twin fights. One interesting thing there is to consider, what if Jamal Charlo was to fall to Sergey Derevianchenko? That's what is being that's being given to us as one of the reasons for why Jamal didn't look so great against Korobov. One, Korobov was a late substitute and a southpaw. He was supposed to fight Monroe. That don't sound right. The Mongoose cat. My bad. I want to say Wade. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But one of the reasons, that he didn't look that great, some people thought he lost the fight, was that he actually saw his brother Jamel lose his title. He thought Jamel got robbed in losing his title to Tony Harrison in December of 2018. Reverse that. Now, what if Derevianchenko is able to pull off the victory? And they got to go through that intermission with dealing the intermission plus the first two fights. How do they compartmentalize all of that? Is there even any plans in place? Obviously, does he tell him, I'm not gonna holler at you for the rest of that day, man. I'll check you out after your fight, because obviously if he wasn't to go back there, then he would know. So that shouldn't be an issue, but you got to think it's a crowd-free environment. Both of these guys have some pressure on them in terms of this being a pay-per-view event. So it's some different things going on there that make this pretty intriguing. I'll just leave it at that. Damn, I went 7 minutes longer than what I wanted to. What do you know? Hey, man, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of this week, and let me know what you think about the fights, man. What are you excited about, or are you not excited about? Bite down boxing. Don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.